Amy Slaton. And why ain't nobody tell me nothing? Baby, we about to jump right into it. Y'all know I don't like wasting no time. Baby, let's go ahead and pull up this article. It's from E-News. Y'all, this happened on September 2nd. Ain't nobody told me nothing. Let me go and share my screen. Baby, I'm so like bamboozled. Baby. Baby. All right, is it up? It's up, y'all. It's up and it's up. All right, we about to get all right into it. Let me go on and play this. Wait a minute now. We ain't got time for all. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. We trying to figure out what the hell going on.
Be a good neighbor. Always call your mom back. And never overpay.
All right, here we go.
TLC star Amy Slaton is arrested in Tennessee. The 1,000-pound sister star is arrested on September 2nd for drug possession and child endangerment, according to Tennessee's Crockett County Sheriff's Department. In a statement posted on the department's Facebook page alongside Amy's mugshot, authorities say they were requested to.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why did they post her mugshot or a picture of her on their Facebook? You know what? Now, I'm not to take that say that the police and all that is all bad. You got bad apples and everything, but that was just dead wrong for y'all to do that. Wait a minute, I got to read from feeding a camel. From feeding the camel to the slammer. I'm not gonna laugh. Let me drink some of my tea. I'm not gonna laugh. Devil, you will not get me because we don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know what went on. Okay. It was no ordinary Labor Day in Crockett County. Deputies were requested to respond to a safari park where a guest allegedly was bitten by a camel. Upon arriving, deputies were immediately overtaken by suspicious odor coming from the guest vehicle. Babe, okay, let's keep going, E.
To respond to a local safari park where a guest had allegedly been bitten by a camel. It continues, upon arrival, deputies were immediately overtaken by suspicious odors coming from the guest's vehicle. The statement says Amy was arrested on illegal possession of Schedule 1 and Schedule 6 drugs.
Amy. Yo, why Amy? I'm not going to hell today. The devil will not he will not let my verbalism say what my verbalism want to say. But Amy, why? Amy? Why are you looking like, okay, I'm not doing it.
And 2 counts of child endangerment. The statement notes the charges and allegations referenced in this release are merely accusations of criminal conduct and not evidence.
Oh, baby, a child endangerment, baby, I can say what I want to say now because I don't play when it comes to children. Baby, why you looking like you looking how you looking? What the hell going on, Amy? Tell me. I guess that's why Tammy cut your butt out that time we was in Florida. Baby.
The defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and convicted through due process of law. A man named Brian Scott Lavorne was also arrested.
Wait a minute, where is Kevin? this man? Okay. Even my four-legged fur baby trying to figure out who this man is. Okay. Right. Right. I know, boo. They all trying to figure it out now. This who is this? Child, where is King?
At the same time as Amy, and authorities say both subjects have been booked into the Crockett County Jail. E-News has reached out to local police, reps, and attorneys for Amy in response, but has not yet heard back. No additional details about the child endangerment charges were provided by authorities. Amy shares 2 kids, 4-year-old Gage and 2-year-old Glenn, with ex-husband Michael Halterman. The TLC star filed for divorce from her ex in March of 2023 after 4 years together. Since then, Amy has shared some details about her dating life with fans, including back in March when she slammed her ex-boyfriend, Kevin, who she was first linked to in February for dating her.
They broke up back in March. Let me go back. I was looking at her edges, y'all. Let me go back.
Kevin, who she was first linked to in February for dating her because he, quote, wanted fame. She shared
we tried to tell you that, but you was so in love with him, and you told us all that we was jealous and hating on you. Yes, thank you all. Heart. I love y'all. It's been rough few days, baby. She said rough like she with the Rough Riders. Rough few days. Him not crying over his loser. Why you didn't blur this out if you didn't blur that? Amy. Somebody go check on Amy. She ain't answering.
Comments of a TikTok video at the time, quote, not crying over his loser ass. Since 2020, Amy and her sister Tammy have...
Who is doing the commentary over at E-News and said the ASS word like that? Let's replay it, baby. She said that last word with feeling. She said...
Amy and her sister Tammy have starred on the TLC series over his loser ass. Since 2020, Amy and her sister Tammy have starred on the TLC series 1,000 Pound Sisters, which documents the sisters' weight loss journey together.
Yeah, look at Amy. Y'all, what is going on with Amy? What is going on with Amy? Y'all, what's going on with Amy? What is going on? What is the deal over there? So now people got to chilling for right now. What's going on? Y'all, let's pray for Amy. And don't tell her what she's going through. Like I said, you just never know. You never know what someone is dealing with. But one thing we're going to do is we sure about to go over to a good old friend page real quick. Let me go ahead and pull him up. Y'all might know him. Because I'm sure he got the tea. I'm sure he got some more tea because he personally knows them. Let's go ahead and pull up the good old Zachary Michael, y'all. I don't know if y'all don't know about Zachary Michael. Maybe about to fan that. Zachary Michael be on that team, okay? Point blank into the periods. Let's go ahead and pull up his video and see what he got.
We want to help you thrive no matter what stage of life you're in. Your prescription for well-being starts at Market Street, where your neighborhood pharmacists are here to give you the care you need when you need it. From expert consultation to personalized care and all your wellness essentials, and giving you your best shot at prevention with immunizations. We understand that every step
Wait a
towards
minute.
health is a step towards happiness. So whether you're picking up or we're dropping off,
Oh.
we're here for you.
Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. Underneath that blanket is my dog Potato. And welcome back to our channel.
We love that.
Hey everybody, it's me, Zachary Michael,
Hello.
Zachary Marie. Hi, hello. How are y'all doing? It's been a while since I've covered anything 1,000 Pound Sisters related. If you don't know, I have a very long playlist of all of my coverage of the 1,000 Pound Sisters, of Amy, of Tammy.
Yes, he do. It is hilarious. If it's not his commentary, it's his facial expressions. I just love Zachary Michaels. I know I put an S at the end of his name. I know I did that. Sorry. But I just love Zachary Michael, okay? I love him. I love him.
Of their siblings and their shenanigans. And also, before they were ever on TLC's reality show 1,000 Pound Sisters, they had a long history of being YouTubers prior to that.
Yeah.
And I followed them for a very long time. But these days, typically when filming is happening and they're not posting on social media and the show isn't airing, we don't really hear a lot from the girls all that much. Tammy actually has been posting recently just about her overall weight loss. I think she hit like 500 pounds total that she's lost, which is obviously very exciting.
Amazing.
And, you know, I don't mean to gloss over that, but also like not necessarily enough to make a whole video about. I'm very happy for Tammy. Y'all know I've always had a soft spot for Tammy. I feel like she's been through a lot. She's done a lot of work on herself. And so I'm very excited for her. But outside of that, we haven't seen a lot of updates from either of them. Neither of them post super regularly on at least social media that I follow. It's possible that they're on TikTok a lot, and I just don't know because I don't go over to TikTok a whole lot. But in general, they're pretty quiet. It's been a pretty quiet off season from 1,000 Pound Sisters. I will say I've also gotten a lot of questions lately about like, oh, do I know when the next season's coming? Have they been filming this, that, the other? I don't know. I would imagine that as long as they have been filming for a new season, that it will come out around the same time that it normally does, which typically is somewhere between like November and January, depending on TLC's lineup. They really like to debut new weight loss shows around that time because I think well, this is my speculation, I should say. I think they debut a lot of shows like that around that time because a lot of people are like working on New Year's resolutions and things like that. So I would assume that if there is a new season, that it'll come towards the end of this year, beginning of next year. And honestly, the reason that I don't know if they are or not is that every other off season, there has been like lots of leaks, and by leaks, what I really mean is like people photographing them while they're filming out in public, like when they've gone on family vacations and things like that. Like people have taken photos of them filming with the camera crews and things like that and sent them to me. And maybe that's happening now and nobody's sending it to me, but I just haven't seen anything like that. I haven't seen a whole lot of it at all. So I assume they're filming. I think it's a hit show for TLC. People love it. People still come back to my channel to watch my recaps every season. Like people seem...
It's definitely a hit show. Definitely a hit show. I really don't feel like the family is getting paid as much as they should because it is such an inspirational, funny show. I know me personally, I first started watching because I just love reality shows. But when I first saw the preview of the show before it came on, and I found out that they were also on YouTube, I looked at their channel and they were just, you know, Amy and Tammy, just themselves. So I was very curious to see if I was going to see the same Amy and Tammy on YouTube. And yes, you did, but more of a PG rated at times. I sort of say. But yeah, it is definitely a good show.
Really into it.
Before you decide on replacing your AC unit, we actually invite you to call 2 other companies, get their price, and then call Reliable.
So I would assume.
Also, another thing I want to say is Zachary Michael. I love his channel. One thing I have learned watching his channel is he's loyal. Okay. He's very loyal. He's not the type of person that's going to just spill your tea. So he may actually know more than what he's saying, but he will give you at least the cup with the ice in it. You get what I'm saying? So let's see if he gonna spill some more tea, because he do know them on a level to where they text, they call each other. So let's just see. Let's see.
They're not dropping the ball on it, but I haven't heard anything. But anyways, really the reason that we're here today is that I woke up to a lot of notifications. I had like a text message from a friend. I had DMs from people both like in my real life and also like just like y'all sending me DMs. Tagged on TikTok in multiple places, tagged in Twitter in multiple places. Like this is the most people have reached out for me to cover something in a long time. And all of that being said, I just rambled a whole lot and I didn't even tell you what people were sending me. But I guess if you clicked on this video and you saw the title, you could probably guess. All of that to be said, Amy Slaton was arrested just recently on September 2nd, yesterday. It was yesterday. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. She was arrested yesterday for drug possession and child endangerment. I've seen it confirmed by multiple news sources. One of the first articles that I got sent was from people.com. So I'm just gonna read through those things with you, let you know from there what's going on, and then maybe try to share my thoughts. I don't know how I feel about this. Like,
see, wait a minute now. See, this is where we're gonna get a little tricky with Zachary again. One thing I love about Zachary is that he's loyal. So, like he said, he's going to try to let me go back to his wording.
Seen it confirmed by multiple news sources. One of the first articles that I got sent was from people.com. So I'm just gonna read through those things with you, let you know from there what's going on, and then maybe try to share my thoughts.
Maybe try to share my thoughts. Zach knows what's going on. Zach got the tea. But like I told y'all, Zach is actually, even though some people don't like him, especially if you're an Amber Lynn fan, whatever, he's actually very loyal. He's a very loyal person. He's not really one of those type of misty reactors like me, myself, and I. And that's one thing that I like about him. He speaks his truth, but he's also very loyal at the same time. So yeah, let's get into what he got to say and what he gonna give.
I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I think like initially without reading the article, my gut reaction is that like I've always cared a lot about Amy and Tammy. And I know that like in the last season, Amy was going through it, right? Like, I think we all saw her really struggling with mental health. She was clearly like struggling with her relationships with her family. Mm-hmm. And I guess like, to me, I'm worried about her well-being. Now, also, I think you got to combine that with the fact that like children were involved, particularly Amy's children. And so obviously I'm also very concerned about their well-being. And there's also, I think, some other guy involved in this too. So like, I don't know how he comes into play, but it's like a very scary situation. Like I hope for everybody's best interest. I hope everybody is doing well. And also, I guess what I should also say is like, I assume that like, you know, there's still a chance of Amy's innocence because it's very much like innocent until proven guilty. That's how the court system works, etc. But let's get into the People article and talk about it a little bit more. So the People article is titled 1,000-Pound Sisters Amy Slaton Arrested at Zoo for Drug Possession, Child Endangerment. And the the little byline, tagline thing underneath that says, authorities responded to calls that a guest had allegedly been bitten by a camel at Tennessee Safari Park on September 2nd. It goes on to say reality star Amy Slaton is facing drug and child endangerment charges after being arrested at a Tennessee zoo. On Monday, September 2nd, the Crockett County Sheriff's Department responded to calls of a guest reportedly being bitten by a camel at Tennessee Safari Park in Alamo. Officials confirmed in a Facebook post. And actually, I think somebody did send me that Facebook post, so maybe I'll go check that out as well. I think somebody tagged me on Twitter and they were like, oh my gosh, like, this is my hometown, Zach. I know all the people involved. Like, I know literally like the people who, the cops who arrested.
See, Zach is feeling, he giving us the tea. But he ain't gonna say who it came from. He knows. He ain't gonna tell us which family member, which close friend that he met through them. But baby, when I tell you Zach is gonna give a little, he gonna at least give you the cup with the ice. Better read between lines. Y'all better get on to Zach.
Arrested her, this, that, the other. I could be paraphrasing that incorrectly or misremembering it. I literally was like looking at it amongst like 1,200 other tweets, DMs, etc. But I feel like I saw the Facebook post too. So if I can find that, we'll go over that after we get done covering the. Well, actually, it looks like it might link to the Facebook post in this article too. So we can go take a look at that as well to see if there's anything additional that would be helpful to know. It says upon arrival, deputies were immediately overtaken by suspicious odors coming from the guest's vehicle, the post read. Slaton, who has starred on TLC's 1,000 Pound Sisters since its premiere in January of 2020, and Brian Scott Lavorne, who he is, I don't know. I know that Amy has had like several boyfriends since leaving Michael. From the mugshot of him that I've seen, I didn't recognize him, but that doesn't mean that I don't know who he is or like that I haven't seen him before. Anyways, they were arrested and are facing charges of illegal possession of Schedule 1, illegal possession of Schedule 4, and 2 counts of child endangerment per the post. I also don't know exactly what the schedules all mean. I think from the things that I've been seeing from people is a lot of people suspect it was marijuana, but I would assume that there's something else going on if there's 2 different like schedules or like classes of drugs and things like that.
He knows. So basically he's letting us know that there was more than just marijuana, which we've heard in the article. That it was what, mushrooms too? What didn't they say it was mushrooms too? Or did I read that before I jumped on live? That it was mushrooms too? But yeah, let's go.
So we can look into that more as well. It says Lavorne, who was in the same vehicle as Slaton, is facing the same charges, and both of them have been booked into the Crockett County Jail. The authorities have not identified who was bitten or given any further information about any injuries sustained from the alleged camel bite. Alleged is such a funny word there. Like, are they suggesting that it's possible nobody was actually bitten by a camel?
Baby, that's what Zach. Let me drink my tea. Zach, give me so much life. If y'all don't follow Zach, my bad, Zachary. If y'all don't follow Zachary, I don't know who you following.
Because that would also be crazy. And then this says the charges and allegations referenced in this release are merely accusations of criminal conduct and not evidence. The sheriff's department added in the post. The defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and convicted through due process of law. And then it looks like the article just goes on to kind of like talk about, you know, Amy's life post leaving Michael, which I think we all know about. But if you don't know, she left Michael last year in 2023, and she has 2 kids with Michael, Gage and Glenn. And she was really struggling last season with like leaving him, and mental health wise, she was not in a great place.
Look at Amy.
These mushrooms make you feel
You
Better.
know what?
Like, a lot better.
Oh, like the mushrooms we discussed
These mushrooms.
right now.
Which I think is just my concern. I mean, another thing that did happen in recent history was like the TikTok live she did, where she had whichever was the youngest kid, I think Glenn is her youngest child, had Glenn sitting on her lap while she smoked a cigarette, and people were very concerned about that.
I'll be right back. Get that.
All right, so there she is smoking.
Together, 8 bucks. That's what I'm saying.
This beginning part is her smoking with the kid on her lap, just so you get the full context. And then the rest of the video is really her getting upset about people getting upset about her smoking, which I think is something to be discussed. So let's get to.
I'm not even gonna comment on her smoking while her kid is on her lap, for the simple fact that I mean, yeah, it's not ideal, but it is secondhand smoke. And even if her kid wasn't on her lap, by him just being in the same room, he's still inhaling secondhand smoke. Even when you're out and about and your child walks by somebody, they're inhaling secondhand smoking. So I'm not about to get into that. If I'm for that or against that. I mean, if it was me and my child, it would be no smoking at all in the house. Period. Like you would have to go outside to your car somewhere. But I mean, that's her. But Zachary, baby, yes, sir. Oh,
So there she is, still smoking. Looks like a new cigarette.
Smoke? Everybody that's asking me if I smoke, do y'all smoke? Let's be real, do y'all smoke?
Well, obviously you smoke. Obviously you smoke because you're smoking. You're smoking right now. You just had that cigarette in your hand, girl. I'm sure. I mean, reasonably, it's kind of terrifying to think that she was in a car with like any kind of substance with her kids, because that is obviously maybe not the best of choices. Like not a great look for Amy Slaton to have those kinds of substances around kids in a car. I will say also, this sounds like the kind of like zoo where you like drive through and there's animals that are like freely walking around your car. Like I've been to, where is the one that my family used to take me? There's one that's like by St. Louis. I want to say it's like something related to Bush, like the Bush family that runs like Anheuser-Busch and all of that in the St. Louis area, but I could be wrong. But there was like a farm zoo situation type of deal, and you drove through it, and I remember there were llamas. The llamas were always fine for me, but I was always freaked out because there were ostriches, and you could like roll down your window and like feed the animals and things like that. It was too much for me. It was #team too much. But that kind of sounds like potentially what this was like.
And for those who have never been to a farm like that, you actually don't feed them anything. Like before you go start driving in the area where the animals are, you actually get the food once you pay for your ticket. Like the zoo provides you the food. You're not supposed to feed them your own personal food or whatever that you came in with. So just FYI for those that don't know about drive-through zoos, I know there is one. Want to say there's like two here near me here in Dallas. Speaking of zoos, y'all, when I was growing up, I remember going to, y'all know the what they called him, the Tiger Man. I remember going up to Oklahoma visiting the tigers. Yes. But anyway, let's get back on course. So yes, when you go through these drive-through zoos, or however you want to call it, drive-through for safaris, they give you a bucket of food that you supposed to give the animals. And from my personal experience, you can put the food on the ground, like throw it on the ground. It's like the safest way to feed the animals. Some people have the bucket or the bag out of the window and let the animal come and get the food out, or they'll hold it in their hand. But just to make sure you don't get bit on, spit on, whatever, my personal experience, personal advice, take the food and throw it out of your window, like, and they'll come up to where the food is and eat it, and you'll be able to see the animals closer.
Like, I could see a world where they had like the windows rolled down to feed camels and then maybe got bit by them or something. Lots of questions to be answered. Okay, I did try to click the link that people.com had to the Facebook post, but it said that the link was unavailable. So I don't know if the sheriff's department took the post down or something like that. But I did go and check out, and the Twitter user that reached out to me with the Facebook post originally, their name is Anna Durrance on Twitch, and they said, Amy Slaton was arrested yesterday in my tiny hometown. I literally know everyone and their mama on a first name basis that arrested them, to the park owner and the people that work at the jail and the judge. The post said, from feeding a camel to the slammer, Alamo, Tennessee, September 2nd, 2024. It was no ordinary Labor Day in Crockett County. Deputies were requested to respond to Safari Park, where a guest allegedly was bitten by a camel. Upon arrival, deputies were immediately overtaken by suspicious odors coming from the guest's vehicle. Amy Slaton Halterman, 1,000 Pound Sisters reality TV star, was arrested on illegal possession of Schedule 1, illegal possession of, this says Schedule 6, which is different. I don't know if there's just a mix-up between like Roman numerals or what's going on here, but this post says Schedule 6. People had Schedule 4 listed, and then it says, and 2 counts of child endangerment. Brian Scott Lavorne was in the vehicle as well and is facing the same charges. Both subjects have been booked into the...
And just to break it down, because I went to law school, hold on, she knows a few things when it comes to it. So level 1, Schedule 1 drugs, basically, how can I put this? Schedule 1 drugs is basically like your marijuana, how can I put this? No, I take that back. Well, yeah, like marijuana. It could be your... I'll just leave it there. Marijuana, okay? Schedule 1 drugs, basically drugs with a high risk of abuse. So, people can get, addicted to it. Some people get addicted to stuff like that. Like heroin. Heroin is a Schedule 1. So yeah. So there's some more things I want to say actually about Schedule 1, but I want to use my words very wisely, especially since it's coming from dealing with this. Now, it's interesting because Schedule 6 is also like your marijuana as well. But how can I put this? How can I break this down? Okay, I will look at it like this to break it down. So Schedule 1, Schedule 6 drugs is like marijuana on both. But your Schedule 1, so you would think Schedule 6 is like your worst. But actually, it's like your Schedule 1 is your worst. That's like with your heroin, your crack, if you want to say, depression drugs, laced in your marijuana. You get what I'm saying? So it sounds like to me, allegedly, that they had marijuana mixed with mushrooms with the chilling in the car. Okay. That's what it sounds like happened. Now, the question that I would have with this is, did Amy know about this, or was it just on this new guy here? And by being in her car, see, the thing about it is that what a lot of people don't know. Say, as you pick up your friend, and you got your kids in the background. I mean, you got your kids in the back seat, and you go pick up your homegirl, your homeboy, whoever, cousin, your mate, whoever, and they got a pound of weed on them, or whatever whatever that they got on them that's illegal in your state, and you get pulled over, because depending on what state and depending on who pulls you over, to be honest with you, they can also charge you with it by being in your vehicle, especially if you was the one driving. You're on the driver's side. Now, we all know Amy don't drive. Okay. So we definitely know it was him that was driving behind the wheel. Now, was it his vehicle that they bring in, and he was, planning just to take Amy and the kids to the zoo and have some fun, and somebody allegedly got bit by the camel, and they get a call, and the weed smell was going? I don't know. But let's get into it. Let's hit play.
The Crockett County Jail. I think I read most of this part already. Oh yeah, and then this last paragraph is just confirming what people also said, which is that they want to remind people that these are allegations, and like Amy and whoever this Brian guy are, they both have, the opportunity to have their case heard in court. So they're in Tennessee. Let's see. Tennessee Schedule 1 drugs. This has, let's see, what is a reliable source for these things? I'm not a legal expert. I've never been in trouble with the law, let alone in trouble with the law for anything related to drugs. So I don't really know what all of these things mean. Google's suggesting that Schedule 1 drugs have no accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. It looks like Schedule 1 tends to be like heroin, LSD, ecstasy, but it looks like sometimes marijuana can be considered a Schedule 1 drug. And also looking at like some different websites, depending on if it was actually Schedule 6 or Schedule 4, it looks like some of those things could also refer to marijuana. I mean, I think for
exactly what I just said. So again, Schedule 1 and Schedule 6 is both basically can be classified as weed. Now, what makes the weed a Schedule 6 is when you also add in what he said: heroin, crack cocaine, in this case, allegedly mushrooms, so acid, so stuff like that. Depression pills, add into the marijuana. So that's what makes it a Schedule 6. Let's keep it going.
For Amy's sake, it really does matter kind of what the drugs in question were. I mean,
Yes, it does.
I think a lot of people are in a place where like marijuana is certainly a more acceptable drug to be partaking in than like, heroin, for instance. So, that would probably make a big difference to know specifically what's going on. But even then, like, potentially smoking marijuana with children present, like smoking marijuana in a car with children present, participating in that with children present.
Introducing Cotton Patch's Texas Value Meals. Every day, always $9.99. Perfect for today, tomorrow.
I think there's lots of fair questions to be asked, and certainly things to be concerned about. Like, how are you going to take your kids to like a safari park situation type of deal and like be high while you're doing it? Like, that is very concerning as a concept to me, even if it is just marijuana.
I think, to be fair, it's important to note that the articles and the Facebook posts didn't necessarily say that Amy or this Brian character were high. It seemed to maybe just suggest that they were, since there were smells of suspicious odors and things like that, but technically they were just charged with possession. So I just wanted to clear that up because nothing that I read said that they were actually high at the time. But even then, having those things on you while in a car with your children and potentially putting them at risk of like you getting arrested while there are children in your car is still obviously very concerning as a thought. Also, as a point of
See, exactly what I was just saying. The example that I gave, he just flipped it. And he's telling us a little bit of tea at the same time. I told y'all Zachary will give us a cup with the ice, but he ain't gonna pour the tea in it. You gotta get your own tea, squeeze your own tea out of it. So it's a possibility. Now we know Amy don't drive, but he drives. So it's a good possibility that Amy wasn't the one smoking the weed or anything. But if you know someone that's addicted to weed, or as some people that smoke weed, they don't like to say it's addiction. They just say it's their preference or it's what they would. Anybody that smoke weed, especially if you smoking in your car, I don't care how you try to cover it up. Some people with a very sensitive nose, like me, myself, and I, can smell it. I don't care if you went in your house and you took a 3-hour shower, you bathed before, you got out, you put some oil on, some lotion, some cologne. You don't even smoke in your apartment, so it's not in your apartment. You don't wash your clothes, put your clothes on, got in your car, but you don't smoke some in your car. Even though you don't went and got your car detailed and it's all fresh and so clean. I can still smell it with my sensitive nose. So most likely 9 out of 10, allegedly, this is just me thinking, that he went and picked them up. And it's the possibility that, like I said, that Amy don't smoke weed. She just smokes cigarettes. But if it's him that does it, and he has smoked it in the car, that's probably where the smell came from. And if he still happens to have some in the car, that's where she gets tied into it or pulled into it, depending on which officer came to the scene. Okay? Because I've seen it work both ways. I've seen it to where they say, oh, it was only you. Cool. Y'all go. But I've seen it where it said, oh, it was only you. So I'm going to still make all of y'all go. So it just all depends.
Clarification, while I was editing, I saw an additional news report from like a local news station that said, in particular, the Schedule 1 drugs that they found were illegal mushrooms. And then the Schedule 6, here is 6, not 4. So I think maybe people.com got it wrong. But anyways, the Schedule 6 drugs that they were in possession of was believed to be marijuana, and that they are going to be like sending off the illegal substances for testing and things like that. So I just want to make sure to give that clarification as well, since I
said it backwards. When I said that, you would think that the one is I don't know if I did say it backwards or whatever, but I meant to say that the higher the number, the less the marijuana, because marijuana is illegal. So it's not looked down upon like mushrooms and crack and stuff like that is. So the higher the number, the less it looks down upon, if you catch my drift.
That after the fact, after recording.
Regardless, I think the biggest takeaway here for me is just that I'm concerned for everybody. I'm worried about Amy. I was worried about Amy during the last season of the show. I worry that, she is not getting the help and support that she needs. I worry that, she's participating in self-destructive behaviors, and that's all very concerning to me. And I think what's also concerning to me is like the kids. Like I worry for their well-being, for their health. I feel like, maybe Amy is not in a place right now that she can adequately care for them or take the best care for them. And that's really sad to me because, part of Amy's journey on 1,000 Pound Sisters was talking about how much she always wanted to be a mom. And
Yes, if you haven't seen the show, Amy's main goal to lose weight was to become a mom. And once she got pregnant with her first son, baby, losing weight went out the door, okay? And then she just happens to get pregnant with the second son. But that was her goal in life, was to simply be a mom. So if this does come back on her, it's a bad look. It really is. Especially since I believe her and Michael was going through custody battle at one point. Like, yeah, it's if he wants to, he can use this to get full custody. So it's not a good look at all.
And how that was the most important thing to her. And I would just hate for her like poor choices and her lack of, resolving her mental health to result in her losing the one thing that she's been fighting so hard for in her life, which is being a mother, having children, and things like that.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Best of positive energy and thoughts and vibes going out to Amy's children.
Yes. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zachary. I keep wanting to call him Zach. Y'all just love me some Zachary. If y'all not subscribed to Zachary Michael's channel, definitely going up over there, subscribe to his channel. But yeah, so y'all, what's going on with Amy? Y'all keep her. Even the guy she was with, everybody needs prayer, especially the children and the father of the children and the family, just everybody, because it's embarrassing. Even to have anything or anyone or even yourself thrown in some dirt, regardless how popular the news may get around, even if it just gets to one person's ear, it's still a hard pill to swallow, an embarrassing thing. I wish nothing but the best for Amy and this guy that she's with, her new boo, I guess, and especially the children and Michael, and just the family overall. Just yes. I pray that Amy starts loving herself more. Yeah, I just do. Y'all. I'm about to get up off of here because I got so much running through my head right now, especially when it comes to children. I'm very sensitive when it comes to kids, and I don't want to say something that I regret. So before I do that, I'm about to just let go, let God. And with that being said, y'all, remember to treat people with kindness, because you never know what they are smoking. You never know what they're going through. Bye.